Hey guys, what's up? Metis here, and from a strange kind of twist of events, I'm actually going to be bringing you the TSM versus KZ matchup from the Corsair Vengeance Cup. We were originally deciding to actually stream this game, but we had huge issues with the Twitch servers, and as such, we couldn't actually get into game to stream this one. So I actually joined as a spectate, said that I would record this one and put it up onto my YouTube and also onto Chaos TV. So I'm going to give them a very quick shout out here at the beginning of this matchup. It's you can go to Chaos TV. I think it's actually no, it's chaosnl.com. I think. Could be wrong. I'll put the link in the bottom either way, and you can also visit them on YouTube. Obviously, youtube.com/Chaos TV or Chaos Contingency, depending which one you prefer to go to. But straight off the bat, we are in the TSM KZ matchup. So I'm just going to take this one away. Apologies if I sound like I'm kind of dribbling on here, but I've literally just been thrown into this one, so didn't have any preparation whatsoever. Either way, we could have a very quick team fight coming up here. As all 5 players in lineup, Morgana has landed that dark binding. Huge team fight coming in. Alistair pulverizing 3 players, very nearly finishing one off. Morgana is going to escape with no health whatsoever, but Shyvana's been completely taken out from Nocturne. Soraka has to burn that flash. Huge team fight coming off there in KZ's jungle around red buff, and that should also be a free red should Nocturne choose to pick that one up. So massive team fight right from the get-go. Looks like they're going to be taking down these wraiths instead. Going to leave that one wraith, of course, so it's going to hinder the respawning time with the rest of them. And looks like Nocturne is also going to pick up this red. He realises that the entirety of KZ have to pull back. They're not going to be here in time. Nocturne's easily going to get this one. Having said that, though, the red buff starts to run away, but is going to pick this one up. He still has that smite, so he's going to use it here on the red buff and pull back as well. So huge start coming out from Nocturne. Has the 1 kill, and additionally on top of that also has taken down the enemy red buff, so he's really going to be weakening Shyvana, who in turn is going to reply with picking up her blue buff. So yep, great start into this matchup. A lot of quick fire action from these two teams, and it should be a real interesting game to watch. Now that I've got a chance to mention this, you're going to have obviously Reggie in mid with that Cassiopeia playing against Morgana. Top player is going to be Urgot and Alistair. I've seen TSM do this a few times where they actually don't put the 2 players at bot lane, they put them at top. So this is going to leave Warwick in an awkward position. And now Olaf is going to be bot lane facing off against Ashe and Soraka. So Olaf, of course, very strong solo top player. Dyrus has came in for the Rain Man because of course he dropped out of TSM before. So Dyrus is now in the lineup, and he is going to be bot lane with that Olaf. Shyvana just kind of chilling out on golems. She obviously did pick up that blue before, but if you remember back, Nocturne did take down her red, so she is going to be a tiny bit behind. Nocturne can now come down. He's level 3 already, going to pick up his wraiths, and he's also going to take down that red buff as well. Also important to note that Shyvana is going to be heavily hurt by that start, very much hindered because also the wraiths got took down, so she's already missed out quite a bit of gold, quite a lot of XP as well. And of course, once Nocturne hits that level 6, he's going to be using the paranoia, and he's going to be just jumping onto enemies and really setting up those ganks nicely. So amid Reggie doing a lot of harassment to Morgana, very nearly actually finishing him off. In fact, she could actually go down here as the poison is ticking down. Oh my god, that last tick didn't manage to take her out. She had 56 health remaining, so one more tick and she would have been 6 foot under. But she will manage to escape. Having said that, though, Reggie is just going to continuously spam his fangs in mid. Also going to pick up the wraith. So again, Shyvana's jungle is getting completely destroyed. She's going to go in mid and try and pick up some XP from these minions, but she could actually come under fairly heavy attack from that Cassiopeia in mid. She did catch a poison, but she is obviously going to pull back, and now going to go ahead and recall. So let's have a look at how the lanes are faring. Urgot with the that new skin looks actually pretty beasty, and obviously he is going to have X special there at top lane with him as well. That Warwick probably feeling a tiny bit claustrophobic right now. He can't even pull on to get one of those minions because Urgot, of course, with his Noxian Corrosive Charge and Acid Hunter as well, can really just spam Warwick back to his tower. And you can see where X Special has decided to stand. He's really making this difficult for Warwick, because if he goes ahead and headbutts Warwick against that wall, then pulverizes Warwick, is going to be in all kinds of problems. But let's switch over to Shyvana. I thought for a second she might try a gank at top. Instead, she is going to go for those golems. Will she go for the gank afterwards? Looks like that could be a possibility, as here she comes now. Nocturne, in the meantime, is going to go and cover that mid for Reggie, who went back. And bot lane, Dyrus is just holding firm. Definitely doing better than Warwick is. You have to feel that Olaf is kind of dictating the pace of that bottom lane, whereas Warwick is pretty much just having to stand back and hoping that he doesn't get hit in the air from Alistair, who did just miss a pulverise by about an inch. And he has just headbutted Warwick back there to try and stop some of the that damage occurring. So let's have a quick look here as Morgana is going to get hit once again from these poisons courtesy of Cassiopeia. She did land a Dark Binding onto Cassiopeia, but you can see once again that Morgana on very low health, very low mana. Cassiopeia has that blue, so she can just spam away to her heart's content, and Morgana is going to have to go back again relatively soon here. And I apologise if you can hear those Skype noises in the background. Of course, I am due to be casting right now, so there is just spam all over the place. That's kind of annoying, but nothing I can do to stop that as I'm already live here in this game. I just hope it stops soon. But either way, Nocturne could get caught out here from Shyvana. Shyvana, actually, I don't know if she knew that Nocturne was there, or perhaps just didn't really want to engage, or maybe just wanted to make sure that her position was secret so that Olaf didn't know what was coming down to greet him. But the problem here is that Shyvana doesn't have her ulti up, so really I can't see her tower diving in the next few moments here, because Olaf has his ultimate now, so he has that Ragnarok, and he's going to be dishing out some serious damage. Even in the 3v1, he could very easily take two of these players down. But here we go, Gank is going to come in as Cassiopeia just beforehand does take Morgana, but I'm going to watch onto Olaf here as he has been exhausted from Shyvana and Ashe as well, but he popped that Ragnarok straight away and he's not going to go down. So 3 versus 1 gank. Olaf still standing tall and proud, and here comes Nocturne, Mr. Level 5, is going to try and turn the battle here, but I think actually with Olaf going back, he's pretty much just going to soak up that XP instead. He doesn't want to give his life away cheaply. He's doing some nice damage. He's going to put the Unspeakable Horror onto Ashe. Ashe is going down very quickly, but another exhaust used onto Nocturne, and he's going to have to pull back onto the tower now. Nocturne already has picked up the Vampiric Scepter, the Longsword, and the Boots of Speed as well with the cloth armor. So of course he's probably going to be building towards that Wriggle's Lantern, as many junglers do. Shyvana is going to sacrifice that blue for Morgana. Morgana of course does need the mana buff. She's her mana pool's not the greatest. And what has she built so far? She has got the boots, the Doran's ring, and some health pots with the ward thrown in for good measure. Solo top, let's have a look. Let's compare Olaf's score to Warwick. Warwick on 13 creep score, Olaf on 35. That gives you an indication of how this has been going so far. Very much one-sided, very much looking as though the solo top for KZ is looking stronger, and he has been caught out here from Alistair. There's going to be all kinds of damage put down onto him. Will he actually ultimate onto Alistair here, as he's going to get switched over with Urgot? Then Urgot flashes away, obviously very scared of the fact that Warwick's ulti could have actually stunned him on that tower, and Urgot would have been in all kinds of problems. But fortunately for him, Warwick I'm talking about, of course, he had that health pot and he was able to escape back onto the tower. So kind of a wasted ultimate from Urgot, but you could see what he was trying to do. And I'll just read out his ultimate here because it's insane. Hyperkinetic Position Reverser. That is not something you want to say often and quickly. That's a bit of a tongue twister. And once again, I mean, Cassiopeia is comfortably winning this mid exchange with Morgana. She just puts down a couple of her poisons and the fangs, and Morgana is absolutely crushed. Here we go. Will she actually try the tower dive? Answer is no. The spell shield did come up from Morgana, so blocked a bit of that damage, but not enough to keep her in the lane. She's going to go back once again here. And as you can see there, she was flashing red on the sidebar, so obviously feeling she was a bit weak, went back. Correct decision in my opinion, but of course she has left this mid tower vulnerable now. Going to see Reggie putting that ward down on the Wraiths because he wants to see just what's about to happen here. Shyvana's going to push down. She has already got that Oracle though, so she is going to get rid of that ward. Now going to go perhaps to red buff, although Cassiopeia knows that she's there. She's put down a ward of her own, obviously to just counteract that jungle invade, but it's already been said and done. Nocturne's already been and stole that red buff, so Nocturne once again showing just how you should aggressively jungle. He's currently level 7 and Shyvana is level 4. Arrow coming up from Ashe, very kind of iffy arrow at best, as Nocturne is going to jump onto them, so that arrow has been burnt, that stun is gone. Are they going to try the tower dive? Look at Soraka's health just plummet down, and she is going to be taken down from Nocturne, and you have to feel if that arrow was still up from Ashe, would that have saved Soraka? Perhaps, or perhaps not. We don't really know. Of course, that is just a guesstimate at best, but it definitely would have helped her possibilities, as Warwick is very much under the gun as well from Alistair. Alistair basically just Ramboing this one. Urgot's not even bothered. He's just going to continue to get some farm. So Chaos is already, let's have a look at his creep score, 82 creep score. Just 11 behind Cassiopeia, and she's going to be perhaps going down here. Well, Shyvana, as Alistair has popped the ultimate, and the ultimate coming in as well from Urgot. Urgot will get the kill, and Alistair surviving on little to no health. He only survived because he did pop up his ulti Unbreakable Will, and he's now going to pull back with absolutely no mana. He must recall here, surely, and that is going to leave Urgot once again to just soak up the creep farm, and of course the XP on top of that as well. So Urgot is just going to recall. On top of that, Cassiopeia coming in heavy contact with Morgana. Morgana is going to go down in a heartbeat, but she did manage to get some nice damage off into Cassiopeia. Here comes Warwick. Warwick has ultimated Cassiopeia. Can he finish him off? The answer is yes, but Cassiopeia's ulti did land in the face of Warwick. But of course, Cassio was already hurt pretty much. I think at least 3/4 of health was disintegrated from Morgana there, and the Ignite on top of that as well. Then Warwick jumps on with his ulti, and it was pretty much good night Reggie. So that's the 5-for-1. That's the first kill coming out from KZ. And you're now going to see Shyvana once again fill in for that mid. Morgana must have been back at spawn, obviously recalling just as much as dying. She's died twice, but she must have been back at spawn at least 4 or 5 times already. And Reggie pretty much 2 or 3 times at most. So it gives you an indication of how much Reggie has been bossing that mid lane from Morgana. Some more action perhaps going to come at solo top as Shyvana is coming up. It's going to be Warwick against Olaf now, so obviously they have switched back around. Going to have the conventional 2v2 at bot kicking off once again. It's going to be Soraka and Ashe against Urgot and Alistair, but Alistair's actually in mid at the moment, so Urgot's all by his lonesome. He has already picked up the Brutalizer. He has the Chain Vest, the Doran's Blade, and the boots as well. So for this stage of the game, he's looking like a strong Urgot. He has managed to land the wow, look at that damage actually onto Soraka. Soraka very nearly falling, in fact. And in the meantime, Cassiopeia is going to take Morgana down in mid once again without losing barely any health. Another fight coming off at bot lane. There's Nocturne's going to jump onto Ashe. Soraka should fall as well here, as Urgot and Nocturne will surely pick this one up. Yes, Nocturne will get this for the double kill. And assists coming in from Urgot and Alistair as well. 8-for-1. Dragon is completely free and open should TSM choose to take it. Looks like they will be doing so. Not even a ward down from KZ, so they have absolutely no idea what's going on. I'm sure they'll assume that the Dragon is being taken, but there's no way of them knowing for sure. And in the meantime, Cassiopeia is just going to chill out and take the wolves down. So comfortable, the Dragon, and the 1k gold coming out for TSM right now. So they're on 19k gold, 8-for-1 up. KZ on 12.2 gold, and the Ashe arrow has came in, but just too late. Too little too late from Ashe. Had that even hit, I doubt it would have stole Dragon. Obviously you do get some splash damage from that arrow, but if Dragon is gone, it's not going to do anything. So, back to mid lane. Morgana level 8, Reggie level 11. Huge difference there. And look at the damage already. Even with that spell shield, Cassio is still just biting through that. And she's just going to get stronger and stronger. What is she actually going to be building? She's going to obviously be building the Hextech Revolver. Going to build that into the Will of the Ancients more than likely, as a vast majority of Cassiopeia players will do. And now you're going to have Warwick and Shyvana coming down to mid lane. Are they going to try and set up a gank onto Cassiopeia here, sorry, with the help of Morgana? Maybe not. I mean, Warwick is just kind of chilling there, hiding around the corner, but he's not going to really do anything from that position now that Cassiopeia has pulled back a tiny bit. It looks like they are trying to set up some kind of gank, but it's very slow and it's very rigid. Here as Cassiopeia has a ward down, so she can see both Warwick and Shyvana. She knows what's coming up for her. She has popped the ultimate and stuns them both in place. Urgot in the meantime will take down Ashe, but I'm interested in this action onto Cassiopeia. Can she take any of these players down? Look at the damage that she's putting out. Will still pick up the kill onto Shyvana, even though it was a 3v1 from hell. And she ate 3 ultimates there as well. She had Warwick's what's his Infinite Duress, of course it is, Morgana's ulti, and then Shyvana just jumping in with Dragon form, and she still managed to take down Shyvana. So big props to Reggie there for being able to pull that one out. And in the meantime, the top lane is going to go down as Olaf against Warwick is going to be on the cards. Is he going to try a tower dive? He knows the Infinite Duress has already been used, so he cannot be ultimate there, and even if he is, his Ragnarok is up, so he could just ultimate out of that himself. And that's the great thing about Olaf and why people enjoy playing him. Can Olaf pick up this red, or will Shyvana steal it with Smite? Yes, he will actually pick it up, and has a 4-level differential between Olaf and Shyvana. The bot tower has gone down as I'm talking. Oh, Morgana misses a Dark Binding. Had she have landed that, I believe that would have been all she wrote for Olaf there. But he is going to get back and recall indeed. So this has been a very one-sided matchup so far. 15 minutes through, 24k gold to TSM, 14.4. So about a 10k gold difference coming in. And looks like once again we're going to have some action at bot lane as Ashe has popped her ultimate. But Urgot and Alistar looking far too strong. They have managed to land the exhaust onto Urgot, but here comes Nocturne with Paranoia. He's definitely going to clean up Ashe and also Soraka as well. Great play from Nocturne. That is the strength of Nocturne. If he gets fed and if his early game is strong, he can just use that Paranoia and just decimate enemy faces. Very little they can do in support. They still have the exhaust up, didn't make a difference. Soraka was there as well with the heals, but the damage is way too strong. And now Shyvana's jumped in. She doesn't even have her ultimate. Should be about ready in a few seconds. There we go. It has came up, but she would just be wasting it if she used it there. And Shyvana's going to go down as well. Not entirely sure about that play. Here comes Morgana. Will she manage to do anything? Answer is probably a no. She's going to perhaps try and take down Alistar. Nope. Doesn't land the Dark Binding. Urgot did block that one for his teammate. And Cassiopeia is now starting to move upwards. You do see the ward coverage picking up that movement from Cassiopeia, but Morgana still came down. She has landed that Dark Binding. So nice play from her. Staving off that attack. Ultimate used from Cassiopeia. She's going to try and pull back here, but she has 4 players chasing after her. I don't think that the Ashe arrow is up. It's got 30 seconds cooldown. That was the only way they could have caught up with Cassiopeia there if the Ashe arrow hit. But I don't know, Cassiopeia is playing this one kind of dangerous. She's goading the enemy team, or perhaps she's just trying to... Oh, nice flash from Cassiopeia. She flashes out of Dark Binding, but I think she's going to go down either way because Infinite Dress has been used there from Warwick. Warwick now has Blood Sense, so he's going to be able to catch up with Cassiopeia. The only way to stop Warwick here is to kill him. Can she do that? Answer is maybe. I think she's going to get the kill onto Warwick. How is that even possible? I think she dinged, but the Ashe arrow is going to land square between her eyes and take down Reggie Bro. But oh my god, Warwick must be having a sissy fit right now. That was incredible. I have no idea what just happened, but Warwick with a bit of an epic fail, a lucky ding as well. Cassiopeia did manage to level up there, get some of that health and mana back. And Warwick did seem to stutter a tiny bit there. He was moving and stopping, and perhaps that caused him to actually die in the end. But huge play from Reggie. I was thinking for a second that he may have been a bit too cocky and arrogant with the way he was stopping and starting there and kind of goading the enemy team to come and chase him, but when he pulls stuff off like that, you can kind of see why he'd feel that way. So 15 for 3, 4 towers down from TSM. Olaf has been caught out here, but he's popped Ragnarok. Here comes Nocturne. Nocturne is going to pop up the unspeakable horror. This should be a dead Ashe. Even the Soraka ultimate isn't enough to keep Ashe standing, and she is going to fall. Nocturne's been caught from Dark Binding, but of course one of the great things about Nocturne is to have that spell block, which is called Shroud of Darkness, and basically just blocks a spell. The clue's in the title there. Which of course against the Morgana in particular is such a great tool for him to be able to use, because you're pretty much guaranteed to catch up with whoever you please. There again you can see him popping the Shroud of Darkness, but didn't really need to do so as no spells came back in retaliation. Either way, perhaps another team fight is on the cards. Oh, look at the range of that Acid Hunter. Is so huge. Of course, with the Noxian Corrosive charge down onto Morgana, the range is insane there. And now it's just a case of them poking on this tower. The great thing about Urgot as well is not just his range, but his poke ability is huge. He can just keep spamming away to his heart's content. And this is pretty much game, set, and match already, guys. 16-3 up, 16-3 up on TSM. Nearly double the gold as well. Baron's free, Dragon's free whenever they choose to take it. Very little ward coverage. You've got a ward here. You've got a ward up here as well. And of course one there. So let's have a look at the vision from KZ. This is all they can see on the map. They can pretty much just see their spawn area. Compare that to TSM. Look at this ward coverage, just massive. KZ have no idea that TSM are on the Baron. Of course they probably had a quick guess, but they have no idea whatsoever this is going down. And actually Baron is going to be down by the time they even get close. Warwick was the closest there. I don't think he even realizes what's happened. He could get caught out. He is going to come down here. He could very easily get himself killed, but he has pulled back in the nick of time. And now, obviously, they've seen Nocturne, they've seen that Baron buff floating around his head, and they realise what the deal is. So they are going to start to pull back slowly but surely. The curtain could be coming down any second now, as Warwick has managed to land an ultimate onto Nocturne, but look at the lack of damage there. Nocturne basically doesn't take even one hit from that. He just like, did someone just ultimate me? It doesn't feel like anybody did. And he's still on full health, so it just goes to show how strong he is right now, how strong TSM are right now, and perhaps how weak Warwick is. He's on 2 for 2, but if you look at his items, he's got the Ninja Tabi boots, he's got 2 cloth armors and the Glacial Shroud, so he doesn't really have any damage output whatsoever from his build. Definitely Cassiopeia 7 for 3 is looking strong. She has the Will of the Ancients, as I said before. Looks like she'll be building towards Riley's Scepter, and she also has the 2 Doran's Rings and Sorcerer's Boots to boot. Alistair on the 009. He has got the Philo Stone, he has the Heart of Gold, and he also has the Kindle Gem. Probably going to be building towards Shariah's Reverie there. And top lane definitely looks ripe for the taking here from TSM. Once again showing why they are revered as being one of the top League of Legends teams. You know, they have a lot of fans, a lot of people enjoy watching their play and watching their team play and such, and you can see why. I mean, they have just been a huge force to be reckoned with here. This, for my money, is going to be the last team fight that we'll probably see, or at least the last team fight that will actually matter in the grand scheme of things. It's so important that KZ can pull this one off, but Asla has jumped in, uses Pulverize, and Olaf just absolutely crushes Soraka. Huge fight coming in here from Morgana. She has managed to stun 3 or 4 of the enemy team, but she is going to get down as well. Warwick is the last remaining player. He could get the kill into Olaf here from the tower. Indeed, will do so. There we go. And that was the only kill that came out of that exchange. That will be a team ace for TSM, with only Olaf falling. Here goes the second inhib as well. And as I said before, that was the team fight, in my opinion, that could have gave KZ a bit of light at the end of the tunnel. But the fact they lost it that comfortably under their tower, you could say TSM have Baron buff, of course, and they are fed as well. So it's be a bit harsh to say it was an epic failure team fight, but obviously didn't go in their way. And these 2 Nexus towers are going to drop comfortably. I'd expect the Nexus to drop as well, unless Shyvana pulls off the most ridiculous 1v4 I've ever seen. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. She does have some cavalry coming in from Morgana and Warwick as well, but she's going to go down so quickly. There we go, there's a dead Shyvana, and now the action is going to be focused onto Warwick, who's going to pull back. In the meantime, super minions are just absolutely pasting that Nexus into oblivion, and that Nexus is going to go down alongside Warwick. Morgana jumping in at the very end, may have tried to pop her ultimate, but wouldn't have made any difference, and the GGs are coming in. So a great game for TSM, ended up winning that one, I think 23-4, 24-4. Very comfortable, very much one-sided. Hope you've enjoyed this, guys. Remember again, go to Chaos TV. Can you visit them on YouTube? It's obviously YouTube/Chaos Contingency or /Chaos TV. And you can also visit them on Facebook, facebook.com/Chaos TV as well. I've been Madness. Hope you've enjoyed this, guys. And see you next time. Bye-bye.